Thank you, Melissa. It's time for Faith Time, our weekly discussion on matters of faith. And joining us this morning is Pastor Chip Hale from Ashland Place United Methodist Church. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, and you have a very challenging topic for us today. It's what can individuals do facing an uncertain world? This is kind of a broad topic, but define for us what you mean by uncertain world first.
Well, I think the perception today of so many people that I talk to when you see the nightly news that are concerned about the things that are happening, they're concerned about the campaign, they're concerned about the violence that they see in our world, and they find themselves afraid, their life being threatened, their lifestyle being threatened, their life being threatened in the sense of, will the way I live go on? And so I've heard people with a lot of malaise, a lot of struggles, wondering, what do we do?
What do you do?
Well, I think we go back to our basic faith. As a Christian, I think the primary thing for us is to remember that we love God first, as it tells us throughout the Bible, and then we have value for our neighbors, for the people in our world, and try and see if we can't live out that value every day in our personal relationships with people that we know, people we don't know. That's what people want, simply to be valued. And I think in doing that, we can do something ourselves to make a difference.
And I think that is a very good idea, but in practice, it is much more difficult. How do you reach out to strangers? Because that's an awkward proposition for some people. They don't want to do it, maybe out of fear, out of concern, or just out of the unknown.
Sure, but we all meet people every day, and we never know we're going to be in a situation where we can't, by our words, by the way we look at people, by the way we communicate that we care about them, make a huge difference. There are a lot of conversations that can be had at the cleaners and at various places that we go, the grocery store, where we can add value to a person's life. It's a little thing, but it's what we can do in our community.
Give me some examples of that. How do you add value to somebody else's life that you may be just meeting for the first moment or first time in your life?
Oh, of course. When I meet somebody at any of the places I go, I always smile at them, talk to them, ask them questions about themselves, and just give them a sense of that and say something good that they have done for me. Compliment them the way they do their task, and hopefully make a difference in that. And sometimes those conversations open up to something much deeper.
You mentioned that in these times of uncertainty, we should be turning to the Bible, to Scripture. What stories amplify that message that you're trying to reach with this?
Well, it's funny. I think about the story of the Good Samaritan, where the teacher asked Jesus, "What must I do?" And Jesus answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your essence, and love your neighbor as yourself." That story is critical because Jesus then says to the man asked for him, "Who is his neighbor?" And he tells this incredible story about a man who was really saved by the most unlikely person. And I think that story is a good story for us to look at. I think the Mary and Martha story, when there are two ladies, one cooking and one listening to Jesus, and Martha gets very upset that Mary's not there. You see an example of how do we get along? Rodney King's question a long time ago. Mm-hmm. How do we get along in our world? And I think we get along by that same thing. We practice our faith, we believe in God, we love Him with all our essence, and we value our neighbors. We value the people that we meet. And the last thing I was thinking about is Paul talks in Colossians about putting on the garment of faith, taking off what is not faith and putting on faith and living within that garment. It's a clear image for us to see what we can do in our world.
All right, those are challenges for people every day. We'll look forward to trying to implement that. Pastor Chip Hale with the Ashland Place United Methodist Church, thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Chad.
News 5 this morning will continue after the break.